Guys, what's going on? My name is Gordon Maston, and welcome to another episode of the DIY Wrestling Podcast. Now, tonight we are reviewing Lucha Underground. But before we get to the Lucha Underground, we are up on iTunes, people! We are up on iTunes, bye-bye! So, the No Mercy review from Sunday that me and Caleb did is now up on iTunes, baby. And let me just say now, okay, let me just put this out there. When it comes to Lucha Underground, tonight's episode, I feel like it was more of a wrestling-focused episode more than anything. So, I mean, this is what I gotta say. When it comes to tonight's episode, more wrestling-based. It felt like tonight they wanted to focus on tonight and nothing more than that, just tonight itself. So, I mean, I'm happy where this episode had to go. But yeah, let me just say, check out the iTunes, Google Play. I'm working on that because I couldn't do it. I had to give Caleb my, my whole RSS thing for iTunes, and yeah. That's kind of how that went now, so there we are. But hey, let me just say this. We're on iTunes. You guys gotta check this out. Otherwise, other announcements. I have a couple of announcements. Otherwise, before we get into this, I will be making WWE 2K17 videos in the coming days. I will have a mic career up. I'm just waiting to do it with a certain indie guy. You know, maybe a guy from Lucha Underground, you never know. And we'll see where we go from there. Because I really want to get in my career this year, and now that you can import guys that you get off of Community Creations into your My Career, holy fucking shit. So, that's about that. Otherwise, tonight's Lucha Underground, people, I mean, the best way to describe it, it was a fun show. It was honestly a fun show. Okay. So, like I said, fun show. And we're gonna get right into it. So we get El Dragon Azteca Jr. I forget here whether he was talking into a mirror or whether he was talking to himself, saying that, I gotta do this, blah blah blah. I gotta avenge myself, because Pentagon broke my arm. He's like, and then Chavo comes in, and Chavo's like, you're not gonna avenge anything. I'll break your arm too, bitch. I'm implying that last part. And then Chavo ends up having El Dragon Azteca get his shit rocked, and El Dragon Azteca, gets his shit rocked. That's the best way to put it. Like he ends up rocking El Dragon Azteca's shit, puts him on the ground, beats him with the steel chair, and it's like, imagine, okay, you guys play GTA. For anybody who plays GTA for the PS4, imagine you're sitting there in first-person shooter mode, and someone punches you and knocks you on the ground, and you're getting knocked on the ground. Imagine somebody just repeatedly clocking you with the object. That's the view we got here, like a first-person GTA type of you're on the ground getting your ass kicked kind of look here. So, yeah. Otherwise, we move on, baby. Rey Mysterio walks past Chavo, sees El Dragon Azteca laid out like that, comes up like, what the hell just happened? And not really much. Not really much that Rey can tell about the moment. And he's like, who did this to you? He's like, I forgot who he asked it the first time. He's like, was it was it Pentagon? He shook his head no. And then Rey eventually figured out it was Chavo. So it feels like we're going at this dynamic of Dragon Azteca Jr. is still too naive to not watch his own back and not have and not know that the temple is that dangerous of a place where you have to have eyes in the back of your head, not blinking 24/7. I think we're still at that point with Azteca. So yeah. Otherwise, pretty solid. I mean, not pretty solid, but pretty solid segment. I guess Chavo from here was going to try and get into the main event tonight, which we'd go on to find out, and we move on to the ring. And the first match of the evening is Famous B and Dr. Wagner Jr. teaming up against, and this shit was hilarious to me, Son of Havoc and Mascarita Sagrada. Now the team isn't funny because I seen how they came about in Son of Havoc's house. Well, I don't know, Mom of Havoc, Grandma of Havoc, whoever the hell she was. Someone of Havoc, Grandma or Mother of Havoc. Either way, it's a Mom of Havoc. Somehow, some way. You guys understand. And we get that. And long story short, match wasn't that, something to write home about. Famous B and Dr. Wagner get the win with Famous B nonchalantly, like, I think he put a finger on Mascarita to pin him after Dr. Wagner hit his finisher on El Dragon. No, why did I say El Dragon? After Dr. Wagner hit his finisher on Mascarita. Okay, so up next, we go back to Dario's. Well, not the Dario's office. That's after this. We go back to the ring, and we get the Gift of the Gods Championship match, which is Sexy Star. Yeah, it's Sexy Star versus Jack Evans. And holy shit, people, when I say Jack Evans not talking, the last 5 weeks has been so underwhelming, or 5 or 6 weeks has been so underwhelming. Oh my god, you don't even know. Because tonight, Jack Evans could talk again. So that little theory that everybody's throwing out there about, well, maybe Mundo will get Evans' title shot if Evans wins. That's gone, people. Jack Evans grabbed the mic as soon as that match started and shit talked his way back into our hearts. That's a favorite with mine because Jack Evans for life. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, what we get with Jack Evans, the wonderfully amazing Jack Evans, as my office chair squeaks. We get just him basically. Okay, let's put it like this. You all know how. Never mind. The best way to put it is Jack Evans basically had his lyrics were fire and he slayed Sexy Star's life. Okay, he slayed Sexy Star's life. Okay, like her shit was like, she's like, I'm here ready to fight. Jack's like, ha ha ha, I'm the Star Destroyer, bitch. Like literally, no, like one of his lines in this. I'm not gonna try and imitate it. You have to go back and watch Lucha Underground and watch this match in the beginning of this match because he literally called himself the Star Destroyer. He's like, I'm not just a Dragon Slayer. Like Melissa won't just announce me as the Dragon Slayer when I win. She'll announce me as the Star Destroyer. Okay. So the match gets underway. Jack, like it's a fun Jack Evans match, dude. Like the aggressiveness that we got out of Sexy Star tonight, plus Jack Evans' arrogant mouth, the greatest things ever. They're literally the greatest fucking things ever. But toward the end of the match, Johnny Mundo comes out from under the ring after PJ Black comes out of literally fucking nowhere with like, I don't even want to call it a bow staff, but I thought it was a fucking bow staff for a second. And just distracts the referee. Johnny comes up, spears Sexy Star, and gets the 1, 2, 3. Okay, with that being said, we move on. We move on. Well, not move on. Why did I say move on? I just lost my train of thought. I am so sorry, people. We don't move on. What happens next here is that, we get Jack going for the pin, Sexy Star kicking out after the damage was done to her, and then we get the fucking Super Friends being Aerostar and Drago coming out, minus Phoenix, and they basically take out Johnny Mundo and PJ Black. And that allows Sexy Star to take advantage. While no, I think Phoenix did come out here. Phoenix comes out, I believe, and no, actually, it was Aerostar. Aerostar distracts the referee, and Taya uses what I thought was the bow staff to the nuts of Jack Evans, and then gets the win on Jack Evans. I would complain, but what sense would it make? Dario would call a loss, and just Like, it's whatever, Jack. You lost. He's like, if I let me do my best, Dario. And for those of you watching on podcast, I mean, for on the YouTube version, you get to see this. It's whatever, Jack. Takes a cigar, smokes it. If I remember correctly, once you one third of the team who was low blowing, Angelico, not Angelico, Rey Mysterio, Prince Puma, and Dragon Azteca in the nuts, if I remember correctly. So, excuses, you lost. That's probably the worst thing anybody's ever seen in their entire life, for anybody who's watched that. And for those who would listen and even hear it even more painful and awkward, I apologize. Moving on! Fuck the Super Friends, by the way. Moving on! We get to Dario Cueto's office. And boy, oh boy. Phone, do not steal my thunder. Oh boy. Boy. Do I have something for you guys? Because Chavo is just about to get what he wanted. Getting that Lucha Underground getting that match against Pentagon Dark. You know, for revenge for breaking his arm. But Ray pops in. He's like, no. He's like, I'm gonna kick your ass. They go on a tussle for a second, and then he said, after 25 years, you do this. You have the balls to come in here and judge me like that. Ray says, after 25 years, you da 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 da, and it just goes back and forth. And Dario's sitting there in his chair, and this impression I actually did. He's smiling and grinning, like, oh my God, violence in front of my face. Ha! I haven't been this happy since Matanza beat our mother. And he's just sitting here with the sick smile. Leans up in his chair and says, I can cut the tension with a knife. I have an idea. A Dragon Azteca may not be able to compete. But, you know what? Chavo, you'll get your match against Pentagon tonight. I've already promised in the main event. And you can try and get your revenge on Pentagon for breaking your arm. And Ray, you can get your revenge for El Dragon Azteca being hurt by Chavo. And then Dario said by the end of the night, it's a win-win. At the end of the night, we know someone's going to end up in the emergency room. All right. So, with that being said, we move on, beer, bro. Where are we going? Oh, yeah, the triple threat. So it's a three-way matchup next. Pentagon Dark, Chavo Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio Jr. Rey Mysterio Jr. And once again, this match, I felt like it had a little more longevity in it, because for what it was not bad at all. I feel like this is another one of those main events where I just feel like they should have went a bit longer. 1 hour, I think 1 hour isn't long enough for Lucha Underground, in my opinion. I honestly want an hour and 30 minutes, because I feel like the last few weeks, these main events have not been long enough. I feel like at times, they try and cram so much in at once, it doesn't work. Oh, but also, before I even get more into the main event, before I get into it, we also have announced for next week Dario's Dial of Doom and Prince Puma taking on Mil Muertes in the Ultima Lucha rematch. I'm pretty sure that Ultima Lucha rematch is the main event. So with that being said, the winner of the main event, Pentagon Dark. Rey Mysterio was the one who took the pin via package pile driver, and Pentagon Dark gets the win. So that was that. That was Lucha Underground this week. Chavo did come back in the ring after Ray got Pentagon out of the ring after trying to break his arm, and then Pentagon just sat there and I guess watched, because we didn't see Pentagon after this, because Pentagon just was sitting outside the ring with his hands on his hips like, God damn it, all I want to do is break your fucking arm, Ray. Why you gotta fucking move, Ray? Why you gotta fucking move, Ray? Anyways, Chavo kind of takes us back to 2007. And when I was a kid, I was very upset with this. I took every video game and every wrestling action figure I had, beat the shit out of Chavo Guerrero because I was a huge Rey Mysterio fan in '06 and '07. I was a Rey Mysterio fan growing up, but then it got intensified after he won a world championship and then the crushing loss. But when it went to the I Quit match, when Chavo hung Rey from the part of the stage, and just beat his goddamn knee in with the chair. We got a flashback to that from 2007, and Chavo did that on the turnbuckle. He just sat there and also when Rey was on the ground and beat Rey's knee in with the chair. So I don't know. I guess this is something that we're not going to see Rey Mysterio or Dragon Azteca Jr. for a while, and I guess those two characters are getting a break because I don't see Rey coming back in the near future, and I don't see Dragon Azteca coming back for at least a good month. At least a good month, because the way they made that look, like Dario, even when he got off the phone with the ER, said that it doesn't look like Dragon Azteca is getting out of the hospital for a while. So I could see us not seeing Rey or El Dragon Azteca for a while and leaving it down to Pentagon and Chavo eventually getting his arm broken again. So that's about that. What I thought about this episode, I mean, it felt so short, honestly. Like, the matches just flew by. Everything just flew. Like, everything just sailed by smoothly, which is your typical Lucha Underground episode where they just furthered a bunch of stories. No, there were cinematics, but, like, they never really went outside the confines of this week, honestly. So, I mean, it was a rather enjoyable episode. Nothing to really write home about, but it wasn't bad by any means. This is just average, honestly. This was what you would call average for Lucha Underground, like, I guess. Yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of Lucha Underground, on the DIY podcast, DIY Wrestling Podcast, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Oh, and you guys too on the podcast version. Thank you guys for watching. See you later. Remember, people, iTunes. Go check it out. Leave a review. Tell me if I'm good at this. Tell me if I'm bad at this. Tell me if you want Caleb on this. Yes, Caleb, if you eventually end up listening to this later, it's about time, dude. You've had 6 weeks to soak in the content. Maybe next week is your week. I know you're looking forward to that Paul London debut. Maybe next week is your week for London and the Rabbit Tribe to debut, because tonight, that's another thing too. We got another Rabbit Tribe vignette. They're coming. Oh, and also, let me take this time to make a bit of an announcement. Lucha Underground. How do I put this? Not Lucha Underground. From here on out, because you guys didn't get one last night of this week, I'm sorry. Main roster for this week, I had to take a break. Monday Night Raw, I'm not watching it for the next little while. This isn't to prove a point. This isn't to say, well, they're bad, so I'm just going to stop watching because maybe it'll get better. No, my point is, I just don't care about Monday Night Raw. SmackDown, yes. I was just too tired last night for SmackDown. I'm sorry. There won't be one this week. That's just the way it's going to be. But Monday Night Raw was fucking ass garbage, and I'm sorry there wasn't no SmackDown, especially after the man, the myth, the legend, the man with no chin but 2 fists with a fighting chance, James Ellsworth, baby! Was on SmackDown. I was getting a World Championship match this week. So honestly, I that's pretty cool. Even though AJ Styles is gonna shit on him, and honestly, Ellsworth, you shouldn't have tucked your head in. You almost broke your neck. AJ had to save your life on that Styles clash, and that would have definitely had the Styles clash completely banned. So yeah, there's that. Anyways, I'm just gonna say this: Monday Night Raw is now being dropped. NXT is now being picked up. So, I mean, NXT's gotten better, and I mean, it could just be the thing it's only a month away from a takeover special. That's the only reason why. If that's the case, then it's just what it's gonna be. But NXT, even on its worst nights, is more bearable. On its worst nights, is more bearable than Raw. When I see NXT, and it's just like it's like a show that's like not very good. It's just like, I know you guys can do way better. When I see Raw and it's not that good, I'm just like, fuck, here we go with this shit. So, I mean, yeah. But you know what? I hope you guys did enjoy this podcast. Share around all your wrestling groups. YouTube, like. Podcast, review. YouTube, comment, and subscribe, baby. Google Play. Share this. All you guys, I hope you had fun. Remember, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. See ya!